I was. Hey everybody, I am Shane. Lights on. That means we're on. I'm here with Tim and Dave Hause. Did I pronounce that right?
You did, Shane.
Awesome.
Shane, what's your last name?
Cook.
Cook?
Yeah. It's boring.
No, it's not boring. It's great. You never have to, do what we have to do every day, which is
Tell people how to pronounce your name.
Yeah.
I could say Kook. People ask me how to spell it all the time.
Kook? Yeah, Kook's good.
Yeah,
You should
I
go
don't
by
know.
Shane Kook.
Maybe I will. Maybe that'll be mine. I'll be a musician, and I'll change it to that. So I usually start these interviews out with the artist and the history of the Mucky Duck, and this is it. This is the history, which is a wonderful show, by the way.
Thank you. We had a great time. I love the Mucky Duck. It's a good hang, good place to be. Tim, did you have fun?
Yeah, I loved it. I many times during the show wondered why we've not been before. And I would love to come back.
Well, y'all are welcome to come back, as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned. You might have to
Thanks.
get it by Rusty,
Thanks.
but he seemed to like you too.
We're going to
so.
tell him Shane Kook
Thumbs up.
said it was cool.
That manager that got mad about the Eagles.
Yeah, you poked the bear, but thankfully the bear is just...
I told you, I'm just mad that y'all kill us. I'm tired of y'all beating us. Beating the
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I'd be tired if I were you, too.
Yeah, well, we're going to turn it around this year as soon as we get rid of Dak. So
You
anyways,
get
let's
rid
go,
of
on,
Dak,
let's
okay.
go on to these questions. So what is the first record you purchased with your own hard-earned cash?
The
if you remember?
first record I purchased was Bryan Adams' Reckless. And if that's not obvious by the show you just saw, it's pretty on the nose, but I still love that record so much. So yeah, Bryan Adams' Reckless.
It's cool. I think you go through a phase where you buy the records, and then you kind of, especially like growing up in kind of the scene you did,
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of turn your back on a little, and then later when you get older, you're like, I don't care. I love that record. Maybe for
Oh.
me.
It's still hard to find. I mean, I jokingly have said it's my favorite Bruce Springsteen record, because it's like, I mean, just every song is so great.
Right.
It's like a greatest hits Bruce Springsteen record, with that, shiny production.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of the era. I was just a boy and really interested in music, so I bought that. I bought Heart's self-titled record, and my mom and dad bought me the Hooters first record, and then I
Mhm.
bought the second one. But yeah, I was busy cutting lawns and spending all my money on comic books and records.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
Tim?
Mine was Weezer Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, which we
classic.
we actually listened to it today in the van. Wonderful discussion, Weezer discussion happened in the van today. So,
Did you like their covers record they did?
to be honest, I have not heard it. I've
You heard Africa.
I've heard, yeah.
But it sounds exactly like Africa.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
Weezer's.
Yeah.
So what was the first show? Like the one you wanted to go to, like your first concert. Like, I'm going to save my money and going to see Whitesnake.
Well, I was 8, and my uncle took me to see the Hooters, which were that Philadelphia band.
Oh, they
that-
were from Philadelphia?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
So they were
Hooters.
taking the world by storm at the
Okay,
time,
yeah.
and I was very into them. And he took me to see them. And as far as a band that, I mean, our folks took us to see the Amy Grant tour.
I've had a lot of Amy Grants. I ask everybody these questions, and I've had tons of Amy Grants.
Yeah, but that was maybe my second or third show. And our folks were into Christian contemporary music, so we saw a bunch of those kind of shows. But that was
Right.
that was later. Yeah, the Hooters, and then Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers. I went to see. Trying to think of. Once I was like of age, it was a lot of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Oh, yeah,
and,
of course.
punk rock shows in Philadelphia.
Nice.
As a teenager.
Oddly enough, I was asked this question not too long ago on a long van ride, and I struggled to remember because from such a young age, Dave has been playing in bands. So I have like very vague memories of going to a show as early as 5 years of age.
Yeah.
To one of his bands, Step Ahead, and then at the church the church that we grew up going to, type deal, and then I have like any good older brother. He's shepherded me through the hey, you should check this out. You should
Right.
check this out. And another one of the early shows was going to see the Bouncing Souls. They played at the Trocadero in Philly, sold out. and I actually went up and played a song with them. So I've got a very warped perspective
course.
on this whole thing. This is what
That was the first Love One show.
it got into my blood then, and been kind of at it.
The rest is history.
Yeah. So
Okay. So who was the first artist you put on a pedestal? Posters on the wall, that sort of thing.
I would say for me it was the Hooters, but I was also super into Lionel Richie around then, Michael Jackson, Springsteen loomed large, Dire Straits, all those bands. Our dad was into rock and roll. It was.
It was also kind of MTV time.
Yeah, right. We didn't have MTV, but like it was like he was really into Jesus, but also rock and roll, and they were kind of fighting for. And for me, one thing won out, one didn't. But yeah. So there was a lot of those, but for me, it was probably the Hooters and Bryan Adams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is funny. We ended up making 2 Dave Hause records with the singer-songwriter of the Hooters.
That's cool.
Yeah, like it came full circle years later. He's a friend of ours and produced 2 records for us. So
that's
it's fun.
really cool.
he married me.
That's right. Yeah.
Oddly
Am I
enough.
saying?
And what I mean by that is he and I aren't married, but he was the
He's your
officiant.
ordained
Yes.
minister?
Yes.
Okay.
He we didn't know who was going to do it, and he was like,
You got married by a
he
Hooter.
put it out. He was like, I could marry. He was the one that made the first move. Like, oh, okay. Fine, I'll marry you.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about anymore.
So yeah, and then it's pretty awesome.
Who was your pedestal? Was it
The
Dave?
pedestal. What's that?
Was it Dave?
Yeah, I'd say, in some respect, I didn't have a
Tiny
single,
little pedestal.
I only the thing was though I didn't have any of his pictures on the walls. They were just
That'd be kinda
they were
weird.
just on the the table by the sofa in the living
Right,
room. He
right.
he would be on one of those pictures there. No, I would say it's really hard to pick one. The Bouncing Souls, Weezer, Tom Petty, the Beatles.
I feel like you were super
Queen.
into Queen. Yeah. that
Queen would probably, I think in my household that was probably the first band that they were liked in my household, but it wasn't like they weren't at the forefront. Like we were
Right.
definitely a Beatles family. So I think Queen was that first band that blew I was like, this is just different than ever. This is insane. And so I would say that was probably my first, big craze.
So I was listening. You ever listen to Eddie Trunk? Eddie Trunk is the
Mhm.
music guy. I don't ever usually ask this question, but they were talking about who's the greatest frontman that ever lived. And like for me, it's Chris Cornell and David Roth. Personal reasons. I know they're not the best.
No,
but-
those are the best.
No,
But who,
Yeah. Well, James Brown,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, probably.
In your opinion, like, Mick Jagger was up there, and like you can't argue against Mick Jagger. But like for me personally, who do you connect with as a frontman the most? Doesn't have to be the greatest singer, just presence.
Oh, it's such a long list. You take this one. I need to do
I
a
mean,
good thing.
since we're on the topic, I can't not answer with Freddie Mercury. But
Yeah.
as soon as you say Chris Cornell, I actually saw Soundgarden for the first time in the state of Texas,
Okay.
and it was in Austin during South by Southwest. They were playing on a rooftop, and it was we had played that day. And so I had some otherwise, like you had to be in industry, whatever, and
Right.
you'd have to like have
Yeah.
credentials to get in. I had the credentials based on having played there.
That's what
And
South
it-
by's turned into.
Yeah, and it was mind blowing because it was a tiny little rooftop show.
Yeah.
And a massive band. Yeah, so Chris
That
Cornell
would have
is
been cool.
he's up there at the top of that list as well. But
I don't know. I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to say Bruce Springsteen.
Well, then you could say Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. In terms of being a consummate front man who really understands the job and masters multiple disciplines of the job, because like David Lee Roth's probably the best because you're having the best time when he's fronting
Right.
a band. But you're not necessarily getting emotionally compelling stuff out of him, whereas
No,
you do
of
out
course
of
not.
Cornell or Springsteen. So I don't know. I would probably go with I know it's a boring answer for a
It's
45-year-old singer-songwriter.
No, it's not. That'll be the right answer.
Joe Strummer?
There you go.
Joe Strummer.
We can go with Joe Strummer. Or Bruce Dickinson. One of the
Oh,
other.
yeah. One of the greats.
So you're on an island. You get 3 records.
Full
Oh, you-
Moon Fever. I need to think of a really long record.
See, I don't like really long
Sandinista.
No, it wouldn't be Sandinista, but it would probably be. Oh, God.
You can jump into too.
It's hard not to say Full Moon Fever, but I could say Wildflowers too, and that would do the trick. I'd say Pedestrian Verse by Frightened Rabbit, and I'd say, man, that's tough.
It's super
3.
tough. Yeah, Power Slave probably. Iron Maiden's Power Slave.
That is their best record
Yes.
by far.
See, we could have been friends.
Yeah.
We have a
think
lot.
so.
We share a lot of the metal overlap.
Still could.
Yeah.
You guys still could.
Yeah, but he really came in there with it.
Just not during football season.
Yeah, football season.
No.
We're calling it off.
Our brother-in-law is a Cowboys fan, and we're very close.
We love him.
We love him.
He's handsome like you.
Dearly.
He's a handsome Cowboys fan.
We love him dearly.
Maybe
so
I should be
it's-
friends with him.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, so it's never, the Cowboys thing, while it looms large in our hometown, it's never, well, it's usually not dissuaded. us.
One of my best friends is an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
can't say
yeah.
much right now. I just-
It's all in,
my mouth shut.
yeah, it's
No,
all in.
3 records?
You can change your mind next time y'all play. You can say, dude, I've been thinking about this for 6 months, 7 months,
Right,
whenever
yeah,
you come
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you probably would have to pick greatest hits records like the Police.
No, that's not legal.
Oh, it's not
It's not
legal.
allowed. It's got to be an album.
It's illegal in the state of
It's
Texas. It's the
illegal.
only thing that's illegal.
Well, weed is too.
Weed is too?
Yeah.
Oh, and abortion. Yeah, well, shit. Hey, you guys are fucking
Let's-
wild down here.
Let's get it back in. Back in. Let's go. Let's get it back in. I don't know who's watching.
Somebody's going to edit that.
We've already gotten in trouble before.
I would say the national trouble will find me
Okay.
at this very moment. Yeah, I would have to say them. What's the third? I feel like I need like a soul record or something to round out the top 3, because you got to have some variety. That's the thing with the desert island thing. You need water too.
Help us.
Fresh water.
Mark, Dave.
Oh,
Probably Thriller. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a good answer.
But I would feel ambivalent about having Thriller, as it's an amazing record, but come on. No, it's not as good.
This is
Why do I
pretty
do
great.
This is
This isn't that
this is
democracy.
interview gold when you put the audience nobody can see into
This
the
is a
conversation.
dictatorship. Go ahead. What else you got?
I don't know.
You want me to come up with a third record?
No, you don't have to.
Oh, gee,
You're gonna have 2 records on your island. You're gonna be sitting there wishing you had a third at some point.
That's true.
I'll
That is true.
go. I just can't. I can't think of all. Oh, you know what? I'd probably get that Sade record. That second Sade
Oh, yeah.
record.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah, because I'm on an island.
She's a Dallas girl.
She is.
Yeah. No, she's not. Am I thinking of Erykah Badu?
I don't know.
Yeah. Thinking of Erykah Badu.
I don't know what you're thinking of, man. You're thinking of Dallas a lot.
Yeah.
We're not even in Dallas.
I
We're in
don't even-
Houston.
I don't even-
For God's sake.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer with, and this is going to ruffle feathers everywhere, but my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy, Kanye West.
That's your desert island
moment.
record?
Yep. Yep.
Listen,
It's your beautiful, dark, twisted island.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right.
I
But
mean,
you've got
put out
Thriller.
amazing records. I mean,
No, I don't disagree, but
I mean, I still like Ted Nugent records, and he's
so you got the
Ted Nugent.
national Kanye West and who?
Well, I just feel like I got to take it way away because I got the National and Frightened Rabbit. So I gotta take it. Nah.
No. No, Dave.
this is
Nah.
the longest anybody's ever taken to answer this question.
All right. Well,
But I'm not.
We
There's
could
two
go
of y'all,
longer.
so-
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not really satisfied with any of the three of my picks.
Well, we can circle back to it. We got one more question for you.
All right.
Oh,
Well, I got one more question and some either ors.
Okay.
So what do we? I used to say quarantine watching. What are we Netflix and Hulu? And everybody needs shows. What shows are y'all watching?
Oh,
Anything
you
in?
should watch on Hulu the Hillsong documentary.
The Hillsong.
Yeah, it's about Hillsong, the mega church started in Australia.
We have a mega church here.
I bet. It's Texas. man.
Olstein. It used-
Olstein's near?
It's right there. It used to be I saw Motley Crue there and Iron Maiden there, and
Oh, now it's Olstein.
it's the old arena. Ozzy Osbourne, I saw the Prince of Darkness there.
Whoa.
Listen, they can have that one in Europe. We play all these churches that they can't fill anymore
Yeah.
because science, and we play there now, and we fill them up with people. So, win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go with that.
amazing.
I'll have to check it
right?
out.
Come to Europe.
Is it like the Righteous Gemstones?
Is it? Oh no no no.
No.
Oh, I'll tell you, Succession. That I'm rewatching.
Everybody
Succession.
tells me to watch Succession, and I
I'm
haven't done it.
rewatching it on this tour, and it just ended. It's so
Okay.
good.
That's on my list.
Yeah, and I didn't like it at first. I thought, man, these people are so unlikable, which I think speaks to its great writing even more because I stayed on and
Yeah.
ended up thinking it was really good. You got to stay in. This has happened with The Wire too. Initially, you're like,
Oh, The Wire's hard at first, but then it's
and then it's the best.
yeah.
It's the
Omar.
greatest.
Omar's
Omar
coming.
coming.
Yep.
Omar coming.
Right now I'm watching Succession, and I'm late to the party because I found those people to be, and really the characters and the plot and the whole thing to be pretty boring for a while, and now suddenly
You're
I'm
really
hooked.
selling this for me.
I'm really hooked though.
gotta
Seriously,
just-
I feel like you need this workup though because the work of getting like the exposition out of the way, like the first like 6 whatever episodes, it is worth it. By the end of season 1, I'm like, man, this is incredible.
I'm gonna have to get into it because a lot of people have been mentioning it.
Yeah,
I just started
pretty
Parks
great.
and Rec back up again.
Oh yeah,
See, that's
yeah.
good.
I
But
gotta-
Ted Lasso.
Everybody says Ted Lasso. I don't have that one. That's
It-
the problem. Is do you have the
Right.
thing that plays the stuff?
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know where the stuff for the things are half the
Right.
time.
Yeah. Well,
And then I lose interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's a
gotta-
search.
I got to Google and
yeah.
Yeah. Netflix, I don't know. I don't know what I saw. I don't know. I got to delete some of these.
yeah,
Yeah.
$10 a month. It's
this is
crazy.
true.
that's
Yeah.
that'll make or break you.
Yeah.
It might.
I know the feeling. So
Ted Lasso though, that's the one. That's a feel
I'm
good.
gonna get. I'm
this is
gonna
a
get
good
into that
vibe.
one too. Everybody tells me that one too. So
Yeah, you'll like it.
those two. So next time, have your Island records ready, and I'll
You'll
tell
have
you
seen
I
them.
watch those shows and we can talk.
Okay.
about it.
All right, good.
Then we can actually really be friends.
We're friends now.
So I got some either ors for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just because you say you like one doesn't mean you dislike the other. It's just a preference, like your children. Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
Dolly or Aretha? They're not meant to be easy. But you're not dissing the other one. It's just a preference.
Aretha.
Yeah, Aretha.
Elvis or Sinatra?
Elvis.
Sinatra.
Willie or Johnny?
Johnny.
You're in Texas.
Yeah.
Johnny.
I'm a Johnny guy too. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Prince.
Lady Gaga or Madonna?
Madonna. Come on.
Yeah, Madonna.
We're of that age.
That
though.
one's easy.
Metallica or Sabbath?
Metallica.
Thank you. Billie Eilish or Adele?
Adele.
John Prine or Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan.
John Prine.
I got one more for you. The Dead Milkmen or the Menzingers?
The Menzingers.
The Menzingers. They're our friends.
I know. I know they're both Philadelphia bands.
Yeah, they're
I-
our pals.
I
and
like
they're
G-
great people.
What is Jesus Piece is the one I like from Philly.
What's that?
Jesus Piece, is that the name of the band? From Metal Lord? Yeah, they're great.
Jesus Peace?
They're from Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, I don't know those guys.
Check them out.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
Anyways, that's all I got for you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for giving
Thanks
me
for
this
sitting down with me.
non-alcoholic Guinness. This is like, I feel like I'm really living on the edge.
Straight from the barrel.
Thanks straight from the barrel.
Yeah, I
Thanks
tapped this
for
barrel of non-alcoholic beer.
getting our product placement in there, guys.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Thanks.